we've had a right result. My new PB barbel. You notice I've left this a bit longer where I've cut it off. And that is a very simple rig. Oh, just had a bloop as well. Oh. Right guys, welcome to part 2 of the road trip on the River Avon. I've been fishing about 5 minutes and I've managed this £6 barbel already. The swim's a mess. I've got my van behind me as you can see, and horrible camera work unfortunately, but yeah, we're off the mark, really happy. So I'll get it back and then I'll talk to you about what we're doing the next couple of days. Hey guys, we are finally set up and ready to do 2 nights on the River Avon after Barbel, and we've been told today that there's been carp to £31 caught from this stretch as well, although they've been quite elusive lately, so we're not really hopeful of carp, but they are in here. And you've seen I've had that Barbel already within about sort of 10 minutes of setting up. I only had one rod out and I was trying to sort the other one out, and the first one went. So, oh, just had a bloop as well. Oh. Right, excuse me guys, I just had weed that collected on the line and it caused the line to be pulled and obviously giving me a false registration there, but not a fish, that one. But yeah, so I've had that £6 already, which is really good. I just put a few pellets out, a few boilies, and fished a boilie over the top, and that one went. So tomorrow I'm gonna show you my rig, show you the bait that I'm using, a bit more detail and stuff, so we'll give you the tactics for how we caught that fish, and hopefully we'll have a few more along the way as well. This is part 2 of my 2021 road trip. If you haven't seen part 1, we're at a beautiful estate lake carp fishing, so go check that one out after this as well, and also make sure you subscribe to the channel for part 3, which is going to be an exciting one as well. We're fishing a new lake. I've been invited to go film there, so that's going to be really exciting as well, somewhere that no one's really heard of yet, so that's quite exciting. Really excited to be here. I've got Matt with me, you might see him just there. But yeah, for now it's the evening, I'm all set up. Finally, we've had a nightmare day. But yeah, it's time for chilling and hopefully a few fish. Well, good morning and welcome back to part 2 of the 2021 road trip on the River Avon here. It's absolutely gorgeous, nice to be by, running water again. I only get to fish rivers maybe once a year, so this is a real treat for me. And as you saw, I had that £6 barbel to start things off yesterday evening. It's raining a bit at the moment, hence why we're in the bivvy. Not had the best conditions, it's been quite up and down. It was quite warm yesterday. And then it rained in the night and the bank was really slippy, and luckily I had a trowel in my van, so I've cut some steps down, so hopefully I won't be sliding down on my bum to get to the rod if I get a take. We had a quiet night. I did lose the fish at about 3:30 in the morning, real screaming take, and by the time I got to the rod down the slippery bank, it got into some weed I think, and cut the hook link, so really gutted about that. But it's nice to get another take to know that the tactics are working and everything like that. So we are going to be talking you through the tactics in a little while and talking you through sort of why we chose this particular spot on this stretch of river. You've got about 60 pegs to choose from here. There was a few people here when we got here, but we had plenty of pegs to choose from. But me and my mate Matt, who's also with me on this trip, decided on these 2 pegs for a number of reasons, so we'll tell you why. I'll show you my rig and talk about bait and everything like that a little bit later on, but yeah, for now, just getting myself sorted for the day really. There's actually a campsite up the road which we can use to have showers and things, and this is my 4th night on the bank now. The previous video in this little series was 3 nights on a little estate lake, and there was no shower facilities or anything there, so I am going to make the most of having a shower at this particular spot. We've got another night to go as well, and before we move on to the third and final venue of the road trip series. It's been great so far, you know, I've really enjoyed myself, and I hope you've enjoyed the videos. If you've seen part one, I'm just waiting for a break in the weather, and then I can talk you through tactics and everything, and hopefully we'll have a few more fish to show you before we have to leave and go on to the last venue.
Right guys, it's been a tough day, but we've had a right result. I'm not exactly sure of the weight yet, but with the net it weighed 12 pound too. So we just need to weigh the net in a minute and take it off. But we think it might be my first double, so new PB barbel, taking on the Vitamino boilies from Pure Bait Concepts with a little scatter of pellets over the top, and it snagged me up for about 20 minutes and finally managed to get it out. Yeah, and that was the result. So I'll get some pictures and get it back, and then I'll let you know the weight, and then I'll show you the rig and everything. Absolutely over the moon. What a stunning fish.
The reason we chose these swims were for the features that they offer. The water outlet on the far side bringing oxygenated water, and also the lilies, reeds and snags offering sanctuary for any fish travelling through.
Right guys, really happy to announce that that was my new PB barbel, £10 9 ounces, absolutely over the moon. I've had a really tough day today, so apologies for the lack of filming. I've not shown you my rigs and everything yet, but we just weren't catching. We've had a big problem with floating weed coming through. Lots of rain I think has caused a lot of debris from the banks to be washed into the river, and then that's been floating through and taking out our lines, and I must have had to recast about 100 times today, which obviously isn't conducive to catching lots of fish. So I've just not really filmed very much because there wasn't very much to show you, and you know, it's been hard work with the weather and everything. And this evening the rain stopped and it's all come good, and I've caught my new PB, so I'm absolutely over the moon. So in a second I'm just going to quickly talk you through the rig setup and everything, and I'll show you the bait that I'm using, and hopefully we've got a night left to go. Hopefully we've got time for another fish. Matt to my right has also caught a barbel today, a 6.5 pound I think, and a couple of chub as well. So you know, there's been a bit of action, but not for me until that magical double figure barbel came along. So I'm really happy with that. It was stuck on a snag in the margins for about 20 minutes, and I was toing and throwing and pulling, and then finally I got it out, and it was a big old bit of reeds that was like rooted in the bottom, and I managed to pull it out by the roots and got the barbel in the net. So yeah, happy days. Stay tuned, I'm going to show you the rig and a few more tips and tactics for how I managed to catch that barbel. Right guys, here it is, the rig and the hook bait that did the damage. That's a Vitamino boilie there, which I've prepped with the liquid food that matches that bait and the prep powder, so it gives it that crusty outer coating. It's got things like cream lip mussel in there, really attractive to carp, which is what it's made for, but also really attractive to barbel as well. They seem to like similar things. And that is a very simple rig. It's just a size 8 beaked point hook from Angling Iron with an Angling Iron small kicker on there to help it flip over in the fish's mouth, and a little bit of silicone tubing just to trap the hair in place there. And the idea is that the barbel picks it up, and as it moves away it sort of catches in the mouth like that.
and then they, you know, obviously they hook themselves, and it is very effective, and I've just caught my new PB with it, so I'm really happy about that. Very simple rig, just tie a loop which forms the hair to put your bait on, a knotless knot, and then put your kicker on, and you're good to go really. It's about 3 foot long, and that is just attached to a 2 ounce running lead setup. And then next I'm going to talk to you about the baiting sort of situation and how I present this on the bottom.
So guys, here's the boilies that I've been using, the Vitaminos. They're nice dark colour and full of attraction. It's a fish meal boilie, lots of crustacean meals and things like that in there, and yeah, obviously very attractive to barbel. So I've just been putting maybe 6 or 10 of those around each rig when I cast out, and then I've been attaching a PVA bag of pellets to the rig as well, and plus catapulting a little scatter of pellets around each rod. So I'll just show you the PVA bag, how I do that next. Right, so the PVA that I use for this is the Catchmore PVA, and you can actually get a discount on this if you use my link, which is down below the video. There's a link to the website, and then if you use my discount code, you can actually get yourself some money off this. They've got lots of other products on the website as well, so go take a look. And it's reasonably priced and really, really good quality from a UK company, so go through that. I'm just going to show you what I do with my PVA now. Right guys, so we've got our rig there, and what we do is when we tie our PVA bag of pellets, I've just got some little 4mm fish meal pellets in there, but you notice I've left this a bit longer where I've cut it off. The reason for that is so you can hook it on and then wrap it round the back and then hook it on again, and what that does is it stops the hair from being able to spin around the hook and tangle, and adding the bag obviously gives you a bit of attraction around the rig, but it also stops tangles of the rig as well, because it makes this end a bit heavier in flight, so it's not spinning around in the air and getting looped up behind your lead and things like that. So it gives you, you know, anti-tangle but also a bit of extra attraction, and it stops that hair spinning around. So that will sink down to the bottom, break down, and then a little trail of pellets sort of will, in the flow of the river, will sort of go behind your boilie, and hopefully the barb will come along and pick up the pellets and then get your boilie. So that's what's worked for me. Over the moon to have had that double figure barbel. It's a target for anyone who's barbel fishing with, isn't it? A 10-pounder. And yeah, I'm absolutely over the moon because I don't go barbel fishing very often, and I live on the Isle of Wight, so I haven't got very good access to barbel fishing near me. So yeah, it's a really good buzz. So happy days. Coming into the evening now, just going to have some dinner, something to drink, and hopefully tonight we can have a bit more action, and if not, in the morning. But then we are going on to our third venue for this road trip, which will be a lake for carp again. So stay tuned guys, and I'll keep you updated.
Well, we've come to the end of our time here on the River Avon. No more fish, unfortunately. I woke up with my line actually in the reeds in the margin. There's so much weed had collected on it, it had picked the lead up and moved it around. And basically I wasn't fishing overnight, so that's the end of the session. I've ended on 2 barbel, but my new PB, so I'm absolutely buzzing about that. Really happy to have got my first double. And now we are going off to the third and final venue of the road trip, which will be part 3, so look out for the next video coming up in a couple of weeks' time. And make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss that. Hope you've enjoyed this one guys. Been a bit tough, but you know, had a couple of fish, so happy days. Yeah, so I will see you in the next video.